everybody, good afternoon. I hope we're having a good weekend so far. Today is Saturday the 17th of August 2013. Before I get into the review of this chapter, I just want to quickly say that if you're in Plano, Illinois this weekend, it is the annual, I believe this might be the second or third, Smallville Superfest. Okay, so Plano, Illinois, which was the small town that's heavily featured in Man of Steel movie, which was doubled as the town Smallville. So the event is good. The celebration is going on there. The Superfest is occurring. I've seen a few photos already from there. It looks like people are having an amazing time. So if you're there and you're having a good time, please enjoy it. I wish I could be there. Already I've been to Metropolis this year. I know that Plano have also put in a I say not a petition, but a request to officially have the town change its name to Smallville, which I think would be awesome. Because if you think about it, you've got the real Metropolis in Illinois. It would be awesome to also have Smallville in Illinois as well. Obviously they're not both in Kansas, but still, it would be something of just a huge recognition, and the fact that Plano was used for Smallville would just cement that, to give them the opportunity to have their town become the official Smallville town of Illinois as such. That would be pretty awesome. So as I say, if you're there, enjoy it. Hope you're all having epic fun. And to both Charlie and Colleen, who are the Clark and Lana residents of Plano, as I've come to call them, I've already seen their pics as well. I'm sure that they're having a good time as well. And happy first anniversary to you guys, by the way. Awesome. Right, let's kick into it. So we're back. It's chapter 60. We've hit the milestone 60th chapter altogether of Olympus here, part 4 of 12. Let me just go back to that cover. Take a look at that. How awesome is that cover? Kat Staggs really knows how to work covers, and I tell you what, she is amazing. She's all kinds of epic awesomeness. So we're back, as I say. It's part 4 of 12, and the cleanup is occurring after the fight that Diana, Lois had with these winged creatures, and then Superman came and intervened and helped them out, and then the D.E.O turned up, aka Team 7, which included Trevor. So General Sam Lane and Director Bones are both assessing the aftermath, and pretty much are trying to play. They're both trying to get one up on the other. It's very interesting to see just how these two behave, and what I've also noticed is that there's an interesting thing that General Sam Lane says to Bones, and oh god, where is it? And it's about how he looks, kind of thing. There it is. Yeah. Easy there, director. Shades of Waller poking through that makeup of yours. If you've seen how Director Bones actually looks like, he is literally just a skeleton. Okay, he is just bones. He is literally a skeleton. No flesh, nothing whatsoever. He is constantly smoking. So I don't know if this particular iteration of Bones here in Smallville is him with skin put on top of his bones, or maybe something happens to him later on. I don't know the full, I'll be honest, I don't know the full story of Bones himself, and how he actually got looking like literally a skeleton. But whether or not he's actually gone through some sort of procedure that gives him the skin over his skeleton, or something happens to him and he doesn't actually die, he's just a skeleton of some sort. But that's where the whole makeup that General Sam Lane uses it was quite a bit of an insult, but quite funny at the same time. So they're, as I say, they're both discussing what the aftermath of what happened between Diana, Lois and Superman, and then also Trevor as well. So they're all discussing. They're both like saying, look, our guys did this, or we know something about you, you know something about us. So it's just, it's especially when Bones says, the D.E.O. is moving in directions that the military and visibly the government either can't or won't. Basically saying that the D.E.O. will go that one step further than what the military or the government wouldn't dare do. So it's, they really are just boys with toys, basically, just playing with each other here. So anyway, moving further on, as I say, they also mention Steve Trevor. Lois is looking to have a chat with the president from Air Force One, from when obviously Superman saved Air Force One during the apocalypse appearing on Earth and all that sort of stuff. But let's just say the president isn't as chatty about it. He doesn't really want to speak to Lois. That's all I'm going to say. He actually runs away from Lois because he's actually jogging, and then when he sees Lois, he's like, "Oh, good lord, right? Can we just get out of here?" kind of thing. So I don't know what she must have done to him, but especially when Steve Trevor says, "Who'd have thought the girl that used to drag me under tables in the mess would one day make the president run and hide?" But I suppose that's just the effect that Lois Lane has on people, that's all it is. So Steve and Lois, they have a bit of a reminiscent themselves. There's a bit where Lois is coaxing Steve regarding Diana. It's very interesting to see how he actually feels about that situation. He basically says that he was never able to track that woman that brought me home, as in Diana. He doesn't remember much about her. All that he remembers is that, when he saw her disappear from what happened with those creatures, in some ways it brought back some memories for him. Just for him it is personal in some sense. We know the relationship between Steve and Diana is quite a lot more intense than we think it is. Then when Steve notices the engagement ring, he starts questioning Lois, what about you, who's the lucky fella kind of thing. Obviously the pair of them being army brats, Steve automatically thinks of Wes Keenan, if you remember the episode Prototype in season 8, I believe. Obviously we know what happened to Wes back then. But when Lois actually mentions that her fiance happens to be Clark Kent, oh god, Steve says something that really pushes Lois, but she remains calm. Okay, she does remain calm, and she just gives him the glare. She gives him the glare and says, "For numerous reasons, my response must be careful and calculated. So remember this glare, Trevor. Bask in it." And it's like, okay, I probably shouldn't have said anything. so anyway, that moving on from that, they start talking about Diana, and Lois is wondering how is it she knows all about herself, her dad, and this, that, and the other. Has she been looking into the military, all that sort of stuff? But Steve is also saying, well, for all he knows, she could have been looking into Director Bones. No idea why. We go back to 10 years ago as well, where Diana is building something. Excuse me. Artemis intervenes, apparently to put a stop to her, because what's actually happened is Hippolyta has disappeared. Hippolyta being Diana's mother. So she's disappeared, and Artemis is basically saying to Diana, well look, since your mother is no longer around, by law you are the successful heir. You should now be the queen of, Themyscira. But Diana doesn't want to be the queen of Themyscira. She's, to the point of where Artemis is saying, if you were to leave, who will then succeed you? And then that's when Diana says, well, put a vote, might as well have a democracy kind of thing, of which Artemis thinks, okay, you're seriously deranged, you're having a laugh, that's not going to happen. So Artemis has pretty much been sent to stop Diana from escaping from the island, of which Diana puts up a good fight, and even to the point of where Artemis says, is this about finding your mother or finding the boy, aka Steve Trevor? Diana says, I honestly do not know. And then she just flies off on a makeshift, how do I put it? Well, a makeshift glider with a jet propulsion engine on it, which is quite interesting. So yeah, so she escapes from there. The next part of the comic is very, very good, and this is where I'm gonna really delve in now, and I'm gonna slightly go off to a tangent, so please bear with me. We're at what's known as the Marston home for wayward girls. Now, Marston being the surname of William, who was the creator of Wonder Woman, so William Moulton Marston. After I finished reading this, I tweeted to Brian and I said, you know what, I think William Moulton Marston would be proud, because the way that Brian writes Wonder Woman is how I would envision her to be portrayed on the screen, whether it's on the TV or on the big screen. And we know that Joss Whedon wanted to make Wonder Woman. Warner's turned him down. I'm going to say it right now. CW, Warner's, please get in touch with Brian. And if you want, get in touch with Gail Simone as well, because she would be very interested in it as well. Get these guys working on a Wonder Woman script, because I will tell you right now, when I'm reading in the Smallville comic for Diana, I mean, when the New 52 was done, I only read the first issue of Wonder Woman, because whilst Wonder Woman is one of the three main characters of DC, you know, Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman, they are the Trinity. Wonder Woman hasn't really had that many good solo stories over the years. But if she's with Superman and Batman as a collaboration, as a collective group, you know, the stories can be interesting. She'll have her angle, and it can still be interesting. However, for the solo series, I haven't really gained much interest in it myself. As I say, I only read the first issue of the New 52, and I just thought, it's not for me. Okay, not because I don't like Wonder Woman. I love Wonder Woman. She's an amazing character, and you know, the strengths of the type of woman that she is, she's fantastic. I just think that you really need someone that can understand the character really well. And just reading Olympus, I mean, we're only into chapter 4, and already I can tell that Brian understands the character really well. And I think that if the CW, you know, I know that they've put Amazon on hold, but if you're going to put it back on to get made, I suggest you get Brian on board, because the guy's worked on Smallville. He knows comic books. He knows the characters. He knows female characters. Hell, his run of Batgirl with Stephanie Brown has been one of the biggest selling of, you know, for a while. And you ask anybody and they will tell you that his version, you know, what he did with Stephanie Brown was amazing. Okay, I've got, I think, maybe 12 or 13 issues of what he's done. I still need to get the rest. I'm quite disappointed I didn't get the rest. So yeah, seriously. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. So Brian, please have a word with someone. If you can work on Amazon, or if you can come up with a script for a movie, please do it. Do it now. Okay. Anyway, so sorry, as I say, I was going into a tangent there. Anyway, so the Marston home for wayward girls. We've got these two kids having a pop at each other over a toy. Two women, said mothers of both children, are now having to go at each other because one wasn't looking after her kid, the other one wasn't looking after her kid as well. In walks Diana, you know, all high and mighty, tells the kids to cover their eyes because she lifts up both women by the shirt neck like that, and just holding them up. And then she gets interrupted by Clark. She's not particularly happy about it because he says, "Might I borrow some of your time, miss?" And she's actually saying, this Diana turns around and goes, "Princess, and you will have to forgive me. I find it best not to socialise with strange men." To which point Clark removes his glasses. She then takes a closer look and is like, "Oh, well, that is most impressive." Okay. So they have a chat together, you know, they have a little conversation. Clark realises how Diana's all about helping women, you know, be better for themselves, look after themselves, be stronger and independent. And then quirps about the fact that between Lois's interviews and his own digging, it would seem that you spend most of that helping time putting men in the hospital. So yeah, Dinah doesn't like men that much. You know, she's not totally against men. She's just, because she's been brought up on an island where it was full of women. She's always been believed that man's world, as she's put it, as it is put for her, is a violent kind of place. It's not a safe place for a woman to be in. And to some degree, that's actually quite true. Very scary, if you ask me. Anyway, whilst they're busy talking, Watchtower, Clark gets a call from Watchtower, and she basically, Tess is telling Clark that the hostiles have been, the creatures that they encountered at the cathedral, she has found them, and well, off they go. Basically, they go to a certain place that is it's quite magical, mystical, to which point Diana recognises certain things about it. The tablets, there's drawings, and she says that these are they are stories. They are the stories of my people, but here, how, she doesn't know how they got there, and then it hits her. She then realises how they may have gotten there, and that's where it ends. And that ending in particular sort of says, whoa, okay, now I think we know why she is on man's world, why she's in Smallville, or, you know, what, in Metropolis and Washington. I think they're in Washington DC, sorry. So it's a case of, now we know the reason why Diana has come to this part of the world. And then I can't wait to see what next week's chapter is going to bring, basically. So yeah, that was just brilliant. I really was solely impressed with that. As I mentioned earlier, with regards to the writing of this character, it really is amazing, and it's awesome to see what Brian has done so far. So apologies for the length of this video, but like I say, I had to say it. I've been thinking about it since reading this yesterday, and I thought to myself, CW want to bring Wonder Woman to the TV screens. I can't think of anyone better who could at least help bring her to the screen other than Brian Q. Miller right now. So, and he does write a really good Wonder Woman. So please let me know what you thought of it. And again, Brian, well done. It was amazing. Thank you very much. I'll see you all later. Bye.